take him back.
He's just cranky because it's his bedtime.
So, do you go to school nearby? Well, are you more familiar with me from Star Trek or Reading Rainbow? Reading Rainbow was the show I hosted and produced for 25 years on PBS. Ever seen it?
You probably seen the picture. I posted it about a month ago. Me and the whole Fresh Prince cast. But you're not ready for this trailer. You couldn't be ready for this trailer. Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm Ramero.
And I'm Chris.
And we're the non-experts.
We're not therapists.
Or lawyers.
Or firefighters.
We don't have any licenses or degrees.
So join us as we talk about news and pop culture and say whatever we want.
Because we're the non-experts.
Hi.
Hello, my friend.
Welcome back. Missed you last week. But,
I miss being here.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Well, it looks like you got a bit of an upgrade since we last talked.
You know, it's something we had talked about personally, and listening back to our episodes, I was going, man, who's that guy that sounds like poop on a stick? Oh, wait, it's you. So I, for the meantime, have gotten hands-on equipment that I may not have stolen. And a friend has let me use it for the time being until we get something permanent, but from the looks of it, I sound much better. I suppose I'll see Friday whenever we put it out.
Well, it sounds good to me, so I think you're.
That's all that matters to me.
Good.
Just want to make you proud, Chris.
Right. So I did want to start with a topic that it really relates to a lot of things we've been talking about lately, especially last week when you weren't here. Me and Skylar talked about the unfortunate passing of Alex Trebek. Which, we kind of already talked about. We have almost been, I don't want to say covering because it's not like, we're reporters or anything, but we've been keeping up with it. We've been mentioning it, every time an update
here
came
at Straight
out.
Talk Studios. Yeah. Bringing you the latest in Alex Trebek news.
Right. But in that same vein, obviously they're not just going to cancel the show because the host died. They want to keep it going, not only as, a part of his legacy, but, it's still a relatively popular game show, I feel like.
Right, absolutely.
So apparently NBC has a list of potential hosts, including, I don't know if you ever remember Ken Jennings, who was I think the guy who won the most or who had lasted the longest on Jeopardy. He's on that list.
That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's on that list. But the internet actually has been hounding Sony for LeVar Burton to be the new host. And they've actually signed a petition, so they have 75,000 signatures so far to make LeVar Burton the host, which I was thinking, I'm he's one of those people where he's not the first person you think of, but as soon as somebody mentions him, you're like, oh, yes, I want, that I get that all the time.
Sense.
Anytime I see fantasy castings for movies and stuff, it's always oh, I never thought of that person. They would be so good.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, LeVar Burton, I think, would be the perfect person for it.
Yes. Okay. Now, what? And depending on if you'll have my face during this or not, if you're seeing my face, you're going, what is he doing? I had to refresh. I was like, I know this name, but I can't put the face with it. You should have said Roots guy or
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow guy or Star Trek headband over the face guy.
Yeah, Next Generation.
I couldn't remember why I knew the name. And then I was like, oh, Reading Rainbow. Featuring DMX, of course. But no, I think he would be great, actually. I think that would be really good.
Yeah. He's actually, he's really glad for the attention. I think he actually lobbied for the job recently. And then, of course, all of his fans are like, yes, we're going to support him.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, I can't really think of anybody else who would be a good, I guess Ken Jennings would be, kind of a given since, he...
Wayne Brady.
He's done a lot of game shows, though.
What I really think they should do, maybe, just throw in an unknown name, somebody that's getting their start, and they should contact
Louis. No.
They should contact me, is what I was going to say, but Louis stole the show. I think they should just ask me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would watch it.
Hello. I think clearly ideal career path, game show host, but how the hell do you get into game show hosting? Not very
Right.
easy. Not very easy. So it's just a thought. Or move Jamie Foxx onto Jeopardy and let me take over Beat Shazam, because
There you
I
go.
always beat Shazam. Every time I watch that show, I'm like, I could win so much money. I think I should join at this point. So, Chris, I know you remember not this past episode because I missed it, but the one right before that, we talked about Saved by the Bell and Full House and Boy Meets World, right? Some funny sitcoms, probably like mid to late 80s and 90s. You know, we grew up around them, and some of us didn't watch the ones we should have watched.
Okay,
Boy
look.
Meets World. But focusing on other ones that you may be more familiar with, Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's reached cult classic level, maybe? Is that the appropriate phrasing? Yeah, so I think this is one of those reunion things that I think we're all on board with. It's not so much a who asked for it as I'm interested to see it. So,
Right.
if you'll excuse me as I wipe the tears of happiness from my eyes. Will Smith posted a trailer to YouTube talking about the reunion, and you know, it got a lot of views very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I think first of all, anything Will Smith puts out, I think a lot of people put their eyes on, because he's just been such a big part, especially if you're in your like 20s. He's been a big part of our childhoods,
Right.
being in everything. So it racked up 250,000 views in just a couple hours.
Wow.
I wish we could do the same. And we're looking forward to a couple days from now is when the reunion will premiere, I should say, on HBO Max, which if you don't have, you should get. HBO Max, they should pay us for this, but I think is one of the better streaming services, because I think they have quite a few titles and just quite a few genres of things. So if you don't pay for it already, feel free to pay for it now. And
I'm good to go. I already got that. You know.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think it was even the day it came out. I'm like, $15. I don't want to pay
HBO
$15,
Max,
but
I'll take that.
right.
Right. So anyway, there's going to be a reunion on the 19th, which today is the 14th as we're recording. So by the time you, the viewer, listen to or hear this, it'll be the morning after.
Yeah.
The reunion premieres, which again will be on HBO Max, and that's in honor of the show's 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Let's just can we get a quick applause?
I don't have the soundboard.
Oh no.
I'll put it in post. I'm put ready.
Yeah, so I think we should just stick with that. Forget the actual applause. But yeah, of course, you know, you've got the trailer showing all the old faces you miss. Really, I think Fresh Prince, and oddly enough, I think Carlton first.
Yeah.
I just thought he was such a goofball, and I always think of him like singing, dancing, and jumping around and just saying funny stuff. And like Will Smith always looking at him like, "Are you dumb?" And he's like, "Well," I think of that basketball game where he took the ball, just chucks it.
Yeah.
It's like, and he just misses by a mile. But anyway, they're in the trailer, they're all like sitting together talking about old moments in the show and everything like that. And I think it's just something kind of nice to see with so many of us that grew up on that show or around it, and there's so many references to it. It's just kind of nice. You kind of wish for reunion things with a lot of shows, you know? And they just seem to have so much fun recording that show at the time. And whenever you talk to any of those cast members individually, not you talk because I don't want to make it seem like I know, but
Right,
whenever you
yeah.
hear them talk about that show, they speak very fondly of their experiences and working with each other. So it'll be nice to watch them just all, just talk. Obviously, the elephant in the room to address, there's no Uncle Phil, which is very sad. I'm sure there's probably going to be a moment. Obviously, there'll be a tribute, but there's probably definitely going to be a moment within that there's some emotions coming out from that. Because when you spend that many years working on a show together, I mean, you're obviously going to be super close. So I'm sure that was very hard for a lot of them to deal with.
Yeah.
But I just look forward to seeing it all. I'll be tuning in.
Right. I think for me,
For sure.
it's in a different realm than like the Saved by the Bell or like, the Boy Meets World, because it's not a reboot or a remake of the show.
Yeah.
It's literally just the cast members meeting on the set, sitting down and talking about the show, like a celebration of the show.
Yeah.
It's unscripted. They're not playing characters, they're playing themselves. And those types of things are really special because like I said, there's no way for somebody to be like, oh, this is stupid, or like, oh, they're just rehashing old ideas. And Friends is supposed to do the same thing. I think theirs got pushed back till next year.
Oh yeah.
But Friends is doing the same thing where they're doing like a reunion special where they're just sitting and talking about the show, which I've always kind of wanted, like at least one scripted like reunion episode where like we find out where the characters are with Friends.
Yeah.
But this is close enough, and I'll take it. Like
Yeah.
it's good enough. So I mean, I think those are special. When it's just people sitting and talking about it rather than like, let's try to make something new. Like it never works.
Which is,
out.
it's weird too, like bringing up Friends, which Kanye says wasn't funny, by the way. It's weird too how like certain shows you kind of do want that like continuation just to see.
Yeah.
And certain shows you're like, why are you doing this? Just leave it where it is.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I feel like I really liked Scrubs. Okay, maybe that was just me.
We've talked
but
about
I
your love for
loved
Scrubs.
Love it. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere now. It used to be on Netflix and they took it
Yeah.
down.
I don't know.
But they need to put it back up immediately on something because favorite show ever. But just some sort of, I think with them I'd like some type of reunion too. Because
Yeah.
that show, I mean, I want to say that was like 9 seasons or so. Like it was a long show.
Yeah, it was 9 seasons.
Yeah, and then there was that 10th one that was like a weird. We don't like to talk about it, but anyway, like it's always nice, I think, especially when shows have gone on that long, just to bring the cast back together, just to like see them all in the same room again is really fun to see. And obviously, I mean, like a show like Fresh Prince, we're talking about almost 150 episodes worth of content there that we've all seen. If we didn't see it in real time, we've seen the reruns on Nick at Night all the time.
Yeah.
And all that type of stuff. So it's, I look forward to it. I look
Me
forward
too.
to it for sure. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Ramero, we talk a lot about things that we feel like should not exist. In fact, we have a whole segment dedicated to it called "Who Asked for This?" And I don't know why I'm surprised, because this is just kind of like a natural progression of how things have been going. But it looks like Disney is in talks to make a Lilo and Stitch live action remake.
Just don't. Respectfully, Chris. No. As your president would say. No.
No.
Because just why?
Yeah.
My
Here's
thing
the-
is,
Right. What benefit is this story going to have by being
What do you
redone?
gain from it?
Exactly. Yeah.
that's what it boils down to.
Right.
Like,
When it's not, it can't be fully live action because, I mean, Stitch does not
Stitch.
exist in real life. Yeah. And the aliens do not exist in real life. So it's just
You know
like The
what?
Lion King. They kept saying The Lion King was live action when it
right.
was absolutely not.
Very much not. No, my thing, yeah, like you said, the Lion King, the weird live action. First of all, animals in the live action element, like anything animalistic, it just looks odd.
Yeah.
And it makes me definitely immediately think of Sonic the Hedgehog and Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
And while Pikachu didn't necessarily look bad, it was just weird.
Yeah.
Like, you've got these people running around, and then there's this, like, I almost call it HDMI, this little CGI furry yellow thing, or this little CGI blue thing running around in this real world canvas. It's like, it's just weird.
Yeah.
And Lilo and Stitch is bigger than just Stitch being the oddball out. Like, there's other weird elements there. So I just don't understand why the need is felt.
Yeah. Well, it's apparently going to be produced by the people who did the live action Aladdin. So they're going to ruin one movie, and then they're going to come in and ruin this one.
Did you ever actually watch that? Is that why you're saying that, or you just
The
never
Aladdin?
even gave it a shot? Yeah.
I saw Aladdin like on Disney Plus when I got Disney Plus, and it's.
Oh, it's bad.
I mean, it's just like the others. Like, why is this a thing? What benefit am I getting by having the same story told to me twice in a worse looking version of it? You know, like
That's fair.
there's a reason why it was animated in the first place, because everything's so fantastical. You know, I don't need the genie to look like a real person. I don't need Aladdin to look like a real person. Like,
Yeah.
and
No, the genie was weird because it was Will Smith with a blue body.
Yeah.
Like, it was him. There was no
Yeah.
getting around that. Whereas
Well,
obviously
and-
the old school one, it was
Right.
Robin Williams, but it was a little embellished,
yeah. But it's unclear whether or not it's going to be on Disney Plus or if it's going to be in theaters, because it was announced, like they talked about it in 2018, but really nothing's happened since then. So two things could happen. One, they continue going on with the plans for it, and then it eventually ends up in theaters like 2 years from now. Or
Right.
it just keeps getting caught up in development hell and never gets made. I'm hoping for the latter, or for the yes, for the latter. But
I'm just hoping it keeps getting pushed back until you don't want to do it anymore.
exactly. But you know, again, it really makes me ask, who asked for this? Who said, I love Lilo and Stitch so much that I need another version of it, except I want everyone to be real.
Nobody asked for it. I guarantee it. One of my bigger gripes, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. I'm just the only one that's willing to admit it. I know that they are going to screw up the castings.
Yeah.
First and foremost, regardless, they're going to be screwed up. But you know what casting I can't afford for you to screw up, guys? You
Stitch.
have to cast... No, Lilo's older sister. You
Oh.
have to cast her right.
Yeah.
Because she was a babe. Lilo's sister was hot. I don't know how they managed to do it, but she was hot. So if you, like, get some little bad actress in there, which is, first of all, nobody wants to see this movie anyway.
Yeah.
Her performance is awful. And she's not as cute as Lilo's sister is. It's going to be a big, devastating disappointment for me. I'm just going to... The moment she walks on screen, if it's not what I'm expecting, that's it for me. I'm out.
Last week, Ramero, I definitely missed having you there for your favorite segment in Florida. This week is a little different, though. It's not really related to a specific person or man in Florida, but it does take place in Florida and may be the perfect advertisement to show why you should not be going there in the first place, because nothing good ever happens in Florida. Basically, the headline that I have is not the actual headline. Let me read the actual headline of the article. But it is huge alligator spotted on Florida golf course during ETA. So it's well known that, you know, alligators are in Florida, and that's like kind of the joke, you know, like, oh, Florida and the gators. But
Right.
once you see a picture of this, it will terrify you to ever stepping foot in Florida. I'm obviously going to have it up on the screen here, but this alligator is the hugest alligator I've ever seen. And you said something that I'm like, yes, you're right. Do you remember what you said earlier when we talked about it? About its legs?
About him having, like, human
Yes.
legs? Like, those are the legs of a... That's a small child's leg.
Yeah.
Not even... That's the size of a small child.
Yeah.
Just the leg alone.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture right now, and first of all, you very rarely see an alligator stomach that far off the ground. So maybe alligators really do just have long legs, and you just never really notice it because you're used to them just like scooting around.
Yeah, like sliding.
But
yeah.
Jesus Christ, that thing is like he's like 2 or 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's just its tail is huge. And I don't like spiders. They don't freak me out, but anytime I see a spider, I'm like, oh. If I saw this while I was out playing golf,
oh my God,
I wouldn't be running the other direction and not coming back.
Here's my thing though that's weird to me, and that's the reason I think a lot of people thought it was fake initially. How do you have time to pull your phone out and take a picture, but there's no videos? Like,
right.
My first instinct, if I had the balls to actually document this, I'm like, guys, do you see this? I'm recording this whole thing. Oh my God, guys, look over there. Do you see how big that alligator is? Instagram, I have 100 people here with me. Like,
right, yeah.
Look at this. So the fact that there's like, that's the only documentation, maybe they were like, let me get my pictures and dip. Maybe they did run.
Yeah, let me just get this real quick and then just run.
I'm just gonna, okay, get out of here. Get out,
right.
get out. But that thing is humongous.
It's huge.
Huge.
I don't want
the saddest part is that's probably not the first nor the last dinosaur-sized alligator that Florida has seen.
Yep.
God, there used to be this show. I don't remember what it was called, but I know it was like Alligator Boys or something. And watching it, it was a great show. Don't get me wrong, but watching it, I was like, man, I think I want to wrestle an alligator. Not that one though.
Yeah, no.
I think that's the Andre the Giant of alligators. I think I'm okay.
Wow. Well, it's good to have you back. I missed
It's
you.
good to be back.
I love Skylar, and he's a great guy. But
Skylar, basically, that's what he's saying. Just you're okay, but stay over there. No, kidding.
That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm glad you're back, and we act like you were gone for like a year or something.
Right?
Like,
It was a week, but I appreciate the love. I want to give a special shout out actually to Skylar for stepping up not only as just a guest, but you became a full-on co-host last week.
Yeah.
In my absence. I just I had a lot on my plate and I needed to decompress, so I couldn't squeeze it in.
Yep.
So thank you to Skylar for stepping up. Chris, thank you for not letting that be an off day, but keeping the content going for the people.
Course.
And I'm glad to be back. I promise I won't leave you again.
I'll hold
Sounds like
you
what
to
my dad
it.
said before he disappeared. I'm kidding.